My name's Julian Abel. I am a co-author of the Compassion Project, which has been written by myself and Lindsay Clark. And I want to say thank you to Blackwells and Heifer for the opportunity to talk about our book. The central part of the book is about why compassion is a really good idea. And we present 4 reasons that we think are convincing, which will help everyone to be slightly more compassionate. The first is that compassion is part of our evolution. Human beings are the most social of creatures. And when you look for the hallmarks of compassion, you can find them in physiology, biochemistry, hormonal health, our behavior, our psychology, wherever you choose to look. And not only is it present in humans, it's present in the whole animal kingdom, particularly in vertebrates. Rather than thinking that the survival of the fittest is the way we fought our way out of the jungle, actually we managed to survive and spread the whole way across the globe because we have a compassionate nature and we looked after each other and helped each other out. So compassion is part of our evolution. It's part of the potential of all human beings. The second reason why we think compassion is a good idea is that when you look at the evidence of studies around happiness, compassion plays an absolutely fundamental role. And in particular, the Harvard and Glueck studies that were conducted in Boston, tracing the lives of men since 1938, come to a clear conclusion. And that is, if you want to live happy, healthier, longer lives, then it's all about social relationships and compassion, because compassion is the foundation of good social relationships. But not only those studies, there is studies which look at the role of social relationships on mortality, and good social relationships are more effective at helping us live longer than giving up smoking, drinking, diet, exercise, and anything else you care to mention. The third reason why we think compassion is a good idea is that when you look at the impact of loneliness, it has terrible effects on our physical and mental health. In particular, our chances of dying prematurely increase by about 1/3 if we either live alone or feel lonely. And the fourth reason why compassion is good is that what happened in Frome has shown the transformative impact of a compassionate communities project combined with healthcare. From 2013 onwards, Frome started a program of compassionate communities combining it with healthcare, thanks to the imagination and common sense of the GP who started it, Ellen Kingston, and the community development lead for Health Connections Mendip, Jenny Hartnell. Essentially, what happened was that they mapped out all of the things that were happening in the community of Frome, and these happen in every community where human beings gather, and then thought about combining that with healthcare, thinking about providing what was best for the people of Frome. Because people who are lonely are never going to stop being lonely if it requires a drug to try and solve that problem. But rather thinking about, well, how can we join up and help the town of Frome, the people of Frome, look after the people of Frome? We go into details in the book about how this happened. And as a consequence of the project, the physical and mental health of the people in Frome improved, as well as their sense of social connectedness. After a couple of years, we thought we would have a look and see whether we could trace the measurable differences in use of healthcare, and we were amazed to find that whole population emergency admissions went down by about 15% at the same time as going up by 30% in the rest of Somerset. And this is a pattern of increased emergency admissions that is reflected across the whole of England. We knew what we had stumbled on because this is like the golden egg laid by the golden goose. There are no interventions ever that have reduced population emergency admissions. If there was a tablet that could potentially reduce emergency admissions by 30%, it would be hailed as a modern medical miracle. But it's not a tablet, it's compassionate Frome. So with all of these things together, we think we provide a really good reason to be more compassionate in our lives. We hope that the readers will think about this and consider it and use reasoning, emotion, and inspiration to conclusively come to the conclusion that it's worth being more compassionate because it has a profound effect on our own health and well-being, our own happiness, as well as that of the people around us. It's not too difficult to look at the world around us and see where there is a lack of compassion. And having put on your compassionate spectacles, you can look at business, education, healthcare, and politics, amongst other things, and see that everyone being a bit more compassionate is going to have a profound impact on the world. And we go through in the last part of the book about how these principles can be put into action in different environments. The book is illustrated with what we hope are inspirational examples of how the lives of people have been profoundly affected by compassion. So that at the end of it, you will hopefully feel both emotional and inspired to take small steps about being more compassionate in your life. So we can all do this through recognizing how compassion is part and parcel of our daily lives, and then just very simply being kinder and more welcoming to the people around us. And we can do this wherever we are, whether it's in our schools, our universities, our businesses, if we're out in our community, at the shops, doesn't matter. And you can imagine how the world might change if the 7.7 billion inhabitants all choose to be a bit more compassionate. So I hope you read and enjoy the book, and thank you once again to Blackwells and Heifer for giving us the opportunity to talk about it.